Welcome to North Idaho Experience. All right, my gun lovers out there, today's going to be an episode for you guys. We're going to sit down with Chris Kizanis from Jager Defense. They make suppressors. It's an Idaho-based company. Chris is an absolute phenom with firearms, so we get pretty technical on some things, but I think you'll enjoy it. Even if you're not super into guns, this is a conversation worth listening to. Remember, if you guys are thinking about making the move up here to North Idaho and you love our content and you follow our team in all the things that we do, please reach out to us, give us a call, let us at least have that conversation with you and talk about making that move up here to North Idaho. All right, enjoy. Does it get any better?
This is all right. We're about to talk cans.
You guys missed some good conversation prior to the start of this. I mean, we were talking about shooting through cars, which is always a good time.
Yeah, it's just military's the same way, right? It's the way we've always done it until somebody can bring something forward and show it in a practical application where you're like, hell yeah, because like felony stops with popping doors to me is foolish. It puts you you're not very mobile, and it puts you in kind of a fatal, like a coffin. But now felony stops jumping behind the car, stacking pillars. But I never would have known that if I didn't see how many bullets pillars will eat up.
Yeah, you got to see it to really appreciate it, huh?
Yeah.
Like, ooh, got to get out of the car.
Oh, because I have a lot of faith in G9 ammo. Like, I've shot through ballistic gel with that, and the penetrating ability of that. Of course, we're going to get into penetrating ability, but we're shooting
Easy
through.
now, bud. Easy.
I know. I started off quick. There's a submarine joke somewhere. But yeah, punching through ballistic gel, so G9 are awesome. But then watching those, like their best, they couldn't get through it.
What's their? It's the bunker. What is it called? The bunker buster or something? Their G9's rifle ammo.
I'm not sure. I got some 5.56 and a 20 round.
We just talked. Yeah,
that stuff blasts right through glass, barrier blind.
Barrier blind.
Yeah,
that's what it's called. Okay, yeah, barrier blind.
Glass has a tendency to spall things out, send them out.
When we had Josh on the podcast, it's been a while now, a couple of years, and he was explaining how those work, and it just blew my mind to try to understand. Saying that it won't fragment until it hits a liquid.
Yeah,
basically.
Right.
So it's much better at punching through glass, through metal, through sheetrock, whatever. And then as soon as it hits a liquid, the liquid pushing through the front of it does something to fragment it, and then it becomes much larger. It does what it's supposed to do.
It's pretty much genius.
It's genius.
And every time you talk to Josh, get ready to just start taking notes.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce half the words.
It's like, whoa, I didn't know any of those things.
I'm a blunt instrument. I'm going to catch like 5 or 10%. You come out of that. But what I really took away from that is what we were just talking about, where you kind of change your tactics based on what you see or a different perspective. Josh, you'd expect somebody that's in that field to be law enforcement, SWAT, some sort of like operator, right? Something like that. That's kind of what you expect because you're dealing with bullets. But he was from a totally different background, where it's like sheet metal on cars, and he was analyzing how bullets went through cars, and he just looked at things differently. And that's where it starts to be groundbreaking. And then it's fascinating to hear the fight that he's got to try to get his rounds out there because of the contracts that are held by, when that gets into,
Politics.
deep state. Yeah, deep state stuff, but truly.
It's the big pharma of the ballistics world that are holding him back, right? They're the big companies. It sucks, dude.
Yeah.
And I like, he told us they have all tried to buy him out, and he's like, nah, I like my small North Idaho community, and he hires veterans and probably former cops and just people in the community. He's all about that. That's cool.
Buy them out to mothball it?
Potentially that,
Probably
right?
that. Yeah, Josh is very principled.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I really like about him.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's a genius too, like just incredible. And those pistol rounds, I was a skeptic until I shot at some invasive species on my property one time. And
were they people?
it was legal beagle. No, it
I'm
was
just
four-legged, and I was deciding they were getting on my crop, and I'm like, no, buddy. And then one day I didn't have a can on my gun, right? So, but I did it anyway, and a reverberation on a porch with 5.56 sucks.
Yeah.
Bam, 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 and then they're like, doing the thing, and so I'm like, oh crap, G9, right?
Yeah.
You finally try it out, which seems morbid, but I'm seeing is believing, especially in the world of snake oil, which is firearms, munitions, and other things.
Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't tell the difference between a 5.56 and the freaking 9mm defense.
Right.
The G9 defense.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I was like, "Yep, not buying nothing else. There's no need."
Okay.
I was the same way when I first saw it. I was like, all right, they look kind of gimmicky. It's like you just.
I think because people assume that they, we've seen bullets in the past that look. They purport to work on the spinning, the rotation of the round, and that's causing a but that's not how it works. Once we talked to Josh, it was thank you. There we have one right there. Their external hollow point. The way it worked, the way he described it in my mind that I took it in is the what do you call it? Not concave.
Your curvature.
Curvature is accelerating the liquid that it's going through and pushing it out to the sides like a pressure blaster, and that's creating the wound channel. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like a water jet, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's not. So when somebody sees this, because I sent that podcast to a few people, and there was a firearms guy. I don't know him personally, but down in Arizona, and he's like, "Oh, that's horse shit." And I'm like, it doesn't work like you think the way it works.
Yes,
and that's the important part,
dude. I shot. We had a company come up that was selling us rounds, like the gold dot stuff like that. So they brought all that up, and they brought a bunch of ballistics gel, and we were shooting armor with it. I was like one of the reps for our team when we went, and I brought some of that because one of the guys at the PD is like, just take a box of this, see what's up. That made a believer in me. I looked at it, I was like, this is weird. Just because you're not used to seeing it. If you're in the military, you're in law enforcement, you're like, no. Gold standards, gold dot, right?
Right. You're Hornady,
Yeah.
Yes. But then you do it and you're like, oh, shit.
No.
Oh, there's something to that. Like that went through the gel and hit the backstop. I was like, oh.
Yeah, and created a massive wound channel.
Yeah. I've got to be in on the ballistics gel test in there a little bit with demos, and I've watched his rounds cut right through 3A and still do exactly what it was going to do without the 3A. Like, no way, man.
That's wild.
Yeah, calibrated gel, boosh, like, holy, and then they pull it back out. Like, yeah, we'll probably try to reload this in another round, another casing later. It's going to be great.
You're like, say that again? You're going to take that round and shoot it again.
Yeah,
That's pretty sweet.
Minimal deformation, and then the AP stuff's wild. I took that to, I got some friends on the Marshall Task Force. And we took some with us, and we've shot it on MP5K, like just Swiss cheese and cars, dude. Like, and they're like, oh my God, like how can we get this? But there's all the politics and stuff with acquisitions and government.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's like, but dude, that AP is nasty. 9 mil.
Is it the local task force?
Northwest.
I was on that one.
I got some friends there, good dudes.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. We had some fun back in the battle days where it was. Washington laws were a little bit different. So as an Idaho cop, like we could use that blanket to go track down fugitives from Idaho and Washington. That was the best.
You get funding too? You got some funding?
Dude, it was great. But we got a good time. Then Washington changed their entire use of force application, made it really hard for an Idaho cop to go over there. It just made it kind of funky, but that was a lot of fun because you show up on their doors like, "What are you doing here?" It says Coeur d'Alene PD. Like, that's right, bitch. Like, there's no running.
It'd be cool. So I've got some of the external hollow point for my 10 milli. Would be a 10 millimeter PDW full auto with G9. Dude,
speak my language, bro.
That would wreck some stuff.
I want to get an MP5A4 and 10 mil and just make that like my bear gun.
They made one. Okay,
bear gun with some woodsman, dude. Be like, you shoot, sir. Did you say you shot a grizzly bear in self defense on a full auto submachine gun? Like, yeah.
As a matter of fact, I did.
That happened. And it's lightweight and easy to carry, too. It's a family on hiking adventures.
Yes. It sounds like a herd of bear gun, but yeah, I like it. That's pretty freaking sweet.
That 10's ridiculous, man. I heard that they're schwacking grizzly bears fishing game up north.
I have no doubt.
In Alaska.
That's I carry that, the outdoorsman round or whatever they call it there, the woodsman.
Didn't we? We just had a guy take down a grizzly in self-defense up north. They seem to be pushing a little bit.
It's coming, dude.
Yeah, up on like Priest, but they seem to be pushing further south.
Because Bill Gates is dropping infected ticks on them, and they're going crazy.
Oh God!
I don't think they're in danger anymore.
Apparently, people are seeing them a lot. So, yeah, maybe not.
The Canuckastanians, I heard they're not hunting them anymore. I don't think they can because everything's illegal there.
Yeah.
And they're coming
Probably
straight
not.
down into Idaho.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there was one making his rounds a couple years ago in our neighborhood, just like a death spiral through the whole neighborhood. I saw his track.
Yeah.
He was that damn big, man.
Dude.
Really?
Yeah, he's killing people's animals, livestock, and fishing game. Like, he knew the guy's scent, so he's like, I can't even set the culvert traps. I got to have other people do them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think they finally got him, but that thing was creating havoc.
Yeah.
Him and his girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Are your ways up north too? Yeah.
You know where Samuels is at?
Yeah.
Yeah, right in there between Sandpoint and Bonners.
Oh, I know right where Samuel's at. Are you east of 95?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll chat after.
Just
you
listen.
probably know. You probably know.
Just listen for the machine gun fire.
Yeah.
You can probably.
Oh,
find
then
it.
they're not going to mess with you. There's just a few little pockets up there when I was
So-
on task force running around.
I know who you're talking about.
I'll bet you do.
Yeah, I used to keep. Yeah, anyway, that's all safe.
Yeah.
Stay away from my house, bro.
Yeah, that's just it. And they probably do.
They did. Yeah, no trouble.
Good. That's good to hear.
They hear enough over there. They don't want none. Chris owns the MG42 that I shot up in Bonner.
That was so awesome, dude.
Which was really one of the best experiences of my life and my son's life, who had just turned 18, and he got to come up and shoot that. The thing was amazing. Like, it's historic, which is cool, right? It's old. And to get behind that, I don't know, man, it throws you back a little bit. You're like, I could feel what it would be like to be, you know,
Beaches
in a
of
trench
Normandy.
or on the beach in Normandy or
Yeah.
whatever, hopefully on the right side, and just ripping it. And I would not want to be on the back end of that or the receiving end of that. No. Holy crap.
It's so cool. From that video, when we did the gun trust with Ben, can we say congratulations? I
Yeah,
think,
heck yeah, he won the election.
Ben Allen out of Shoshone, District 1 judge, won the
Pretty
election
cool.
and runoff. He's a stud. He was a prosecutor out there, but he does gun trusts. And it made me think of you just because you've got such a cool array of what firearms
you
to
got a
include.
lot of stuff that would be
Yeah.
that could go into a gun
Yeah, it's
trust.
worth doing.
So the reason Chris is out here today, although it's fun to talk guns and stuff, but you're one of the owners of Jager Defense, and what I love about it says Jager Defense, Sandpoint, Idaho. We're talking about these cans on the front of these two rifles. I'm gonna hold one up. These are both clear. We'll all confirm that. Don't freak out. Look how short these cans are. Hopefully you're watching a video and you guys can see that. So tell me a little bit about these. Like, how long are they? Why are they short? What are the benefits? Decibel reduction, all the stuff. Lay it on me, dude.
The quick version is a 3-inch, 32 decibel suppressor, low flash, reduced rearward gas. It's actually a hybrid design.
Okay.
So just pop one on here real quick.
I was just going to ask if it was quick detach. Thank you for answering that.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is patented, by the way. We have our patents in order.
Good.
Everything.
So no secrets are getting stolen.
Yeah,
today.
yeah, we were at BL Secret Squirrel forever about it because you know how things are. It's a hybrid design. So this is acting like a suppressor twice its size.
I was going to ask. So a suppressor twice as long as that, like a normal suppressor you would see. Is it the similar decibel reduction?
The guys in a particular place in the military right now who are kicking them around for like the last 2 months have said, yeah, it sounds like an RC2. So that's the best way I could probably quantify for guys that run those. And comparable sound, and then, but you're not getting crap in your eyeballs every time you drop the hammer. So that for me was the biggest thing. I know a lot of guys hate that, and yeah, well, I mean, why would you be sucking gas? You know, these are direct impingement guns, so I mean they're gas operated weapon system, and yes, you're going to get a gas increase. I mean, I haven't seen cans that really don't do that. Even flow through designs, you kind of see that a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the velocity in which it's coming out at you. Like when this unlocks, it shouldn't be high pressure, which is typically a sign of high back pressure, right?
Okay.
So those negative attributes are reduced with this little guy. On top of it being, it only adds 1.9 inches to the gun. And
Eric's very familiar with 1.9 inches.
I tell you some things in confidence.
Yeah, that is a good reference.
sometimes shorter is better.
Yeah.
Hey, do you? It's wide though. All right. Do you use an adjustable gas block?
No.
Okay.
No. The whole idea is to be able to put these on any industry spec weapon system. Like I can't help like an overgassed, garbage rod that guys want to buy with an oversized gas bore because they don't know how to make an AR or they're trying to make up for other tolerance issues.
Right.
These are both. That's a Colt M5. They sent us that recently. This is a Geisley URGI. It's actually a Super Duty. These barrels are super great, by the way. This thing's a hammer attack driver.
I've shot it. I can attest to that.
Yeah. This thing is driving nails in Mark 262, and I beat on it, and it just doesn't care. It still shoots really, really well. Supposedly these barrels last 50,000 rounds or better.
Wow.
Which is nutso.
Yeah.
In comparison, price wise, where are those? And I know we're going to get more into the suppressor, but where are those? Because I mean, for a lot of it, running team stuff, you're putting those 10, 12,000 rounds through a rifle per year.
Yeah, buy once, cry once, right? For agencies, you don't want to be replacing stuff, fixing stuff all the time, right?
No.
Murphy's Law. There's more to a good rifle than just spec too. It goes all the way back to metallurgy.
Yeah.
Like, if you're using crap sources for your stuff all the way back, yeah, that's cool. You're in spec, and then you just sheared a bolt lug, when you're freaking clearing a house. That's super great. Yeah, and so, there's only a couple handfuls of manufacturers that I personally trust.
Yeah.
I don't see all the guns, but I see a lot of them, and there's a reason why I stick with what I stick with.
Right.
Because I've put a lot of rounds down range to a lot of stuff. I've seen stuff go bad. I've seen bolts crack in half. Just all the stuff, and not to mention too, like an overgas gun is just not fun anyway. Like,
dude,
there's no reason to do that.
Guys came out of training, and when you mentioned that, I literally smelled it and tasted it. Where you get done, and only your glasses are white underneath, and you just have gas all over your.
Sucks.
I mean, literally all over your face.
And I'm a lefty, so I'm already in front of the ejection port, right?
Yeah.
So it's worse for me. I didn't notice that shooting your rifle when I was shooting it. I definitely tasted it many a time because I'm right there just sucking it in.
Yeah, you are.
So that
you started it.
That
all
I did start. You're right. I deserve that. That's a flash hider. Is that part of it?
Yeah, it's all integral.
Okay.
And it's part of the design. So we didn't invent I don't know if the Vortex is a patented name, but it's the Vortex style. It's recognized. Okay. When I say Vortex, people recognize what that is. So this is a pronged, if you will, flash hider, and it works extremely well. We spent a lot of time building a better mousetrap with this because we think this is the best way to go as far as short flash reduction. And it is part of the design too.
Okay.
It's not a muzzle brake. It's a flash hider. And it works even on short barrel rifles, which is
they can throw some
traditionally a big problem. Yeah. I can't help with like garbage ammo, like training ammo that just has a flash in the daytime. But with like Dodic munitions or any defense or duty munitions, it works very, very well. And so this is not a Chris invention. This is a collaboration.
Sure.
Like me and my best friend, Ty, I won't say his last name. He likes his privacy. We came up with this together, and he's a former 18 Bravo, and I forgot where I was going with that, but we spent a lot of time working on this guy. And the point I was going to make, I say this very carefully. After months of R&D and playing around with specs and working up to things, it was down to like 3 things that were like really close. And we couldn't figure it out. So we're like, well, we got to test it out. So we'll just go down range and we'll white light and mark positions and we'll shoot past each other so we can see what it looks like on the other end. And that's how we decided on that. And I couldn't even see where it was coming from. And we use an A2 flash hider as a baseline because everyone knows what that is. It's on M4s. It's still a respectable design, And it was easy to see the A2 and then back to this flash hider. And I was like, dude, I can't even hardly see where you're at, and then even on multiple shots. So it's like, there it is, boom. And this is integral to the suppressor design, and it's all patented together, and it just works, man. Just put on your gun and do your thing.
Yeah.
Quit giving me more crap to do. Like,
well, I imagine the SBR portion is kind of the test, right? Because a lot of people that are going to run this, if you're teams or whatever, it's going to be on an SBR.
Exactly.
The whole point's to keep it compressed. And I think I told you that when I came in and looked. We had, when I was on local SWAT team, we had dead air, which good suppressors, right? But it makes them long, and the whole thing is about clearing. And I told you, it's like where you got to kick it up on your shoulder to get around because you're trying to make your profile pretty small when you're clearing inside. And,
inches matter, dude.
Yes, they do, as a matter of fact. But when you're talking half, that's significant. This is North Idaho. You're clearing trailers. You know what I mean? Well, I'm selling trailers.
Single wides. Single wide.
Yeah, but truly, those are a bitch. Trailers are, that's a really tight, confined space. So
yeah, their hallways tend to be like not like in normal residential width too. So.
No. So I could definitely see that being a benefit.
It's just a benefit all around. Who wants a longer, heavier thing? Like that's why we came up with this. Like we didn't start Jaeger and be like, now we need to come up with a product to generate revenue.
Yes.
It's like, dude, this is really good and everyone likes it. Let's just sell these.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where that started. We've been developing these for like 2.5 years.
Okay.
Way before this other thing. Like, I feel that's an important distinction because there's a lot of like, you can't swing a dead cat right now without hitting like a brand new, we make suppressors too. And it's like, well, that's neat and stuff. I'm not going to poo-poo on other companies. That's not what we do. But, you know, looking at the industry as a whole, like, woo, it's just, that's not who we are. Like, we've been working on this for a while to make it right. And that's like a feat of engineering. Like, it's not just a tube with some stuff in it. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, when I'm
in a refined way.
When I'm looking at it, I'm seeing little details. I mean, I'm seeing tiny holes in the front here in between these. These whatever
gas
you call
off.
them. Yeah, there's a lot of little detail here, and looking down inside of it, I'm like, that's not just a flat baffle or anything.
I got to shoot it now.
Yeah. What? So you guys, where are these manufactured? Because you guys are based out of North Idaho.
Yep.
Are you manufacturing here, or are you out of state?
I had to get a facility in Oregon because that's the opportunity that came up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but we're an Idaho-based company.
Okay.
And eventually we will pull everything back over here, but right now that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry.
What's MSRP on these?
$1,200. We're doing a sale right now for $995, and they all come with flash hiders too. We're not going to screw people over like that.
Okay.
And then we also sell the flash hiders separate. I actually sell a lot of those by themselves because guys want to hot swap between guns, and they work really well too. So, you know, it's not inexpensive, but it's not crazy money either.
Yeah.
And most guys will never wear them out. I mean, that's 17.4 pH stainless, heat treated and aged, and then that's a 718 Inconel heat treated baffle. And
I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds cool.
It's really, really hard.
Okay.
And it's heat treated.
All right.
And it takes like 3 days to heat treat it. And there's a very specific process to all of it. And it passes a SOCOM test too. And I still run the one that we beat on.
Yeah. What's the most rounds you put through one of these and then still gone through? And
I don't even know.
A lot.
Okay. So you guys know what the SOCOM endurance test is?
No.
The SIRG test.
Break it down roughly for people that don't know.
All right. So
like us.
Well, there is no industry standard for like anything we're talking about. So we fall back to the military standard, Army and SWC testing, Naval Surface Warfare crane labs, and all that. And they're good standards to go by, and they're no. So the SOCOM cycle test, this is called, or use of SOCOM endurance test, whatever you want to call it, is a minimum of 6 cycles of 8 magazines fired at a specific cadence. It's not like Iraq veteran, on YouTube where he does burn downs. It's not like that, which those are cool. But that's a specific firing cadence. So 8 30-round magazines, 1 shot, 2 shots, 1 shot, 3 to 5 round bursts, 1 shot, 2 shot. And then you finish it out cyclic. 30 rounds, just mag dump for mag 8.
And what are you looking for? What can go wrong when you do that?
Well, cans aren't very strong. Will turn red hot and usually blow up.
Baffle strikes.
Yeah. They might make it through 1 or 2. And there's a heat cycling thing too with metallurgical considerations.
Okay.
Like, some cans they're just not made for that. That's overbuilt on purpose.
It feels incredibly sturdy.
Oh yeah, look, because you'd like everything to be lightweight, but that's not realistic when you're talking about producing something like this. Like weight-wise, it feels like a standard can, right? Mm-hmm. But it has to be. Like if you're going to build it with steel and make sure that it lasts.
Yeah, you're not going to make that out of aluminum, right?
It's going to aluminum will break under heat, and they're going to get hot. I mean, they have to, right? Like it's friction, and you're pumping all that through. It's going to get hot. That's freaking cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's some people don't agree with the test because I don't know why, but I actually think it's a good metric because full auto rated and this and that. Like, what's that even mean? There's no metric for that I know of. But we still shoot and demo that can. We sound meter everything according to 1474E with sound meters calibrated and everything. And I decibeled it after that test. And it was only like 3 decibels louder after the test. Matt Brakeman helped me conduct a test, and we filmed it all and everything. We've done a bunch of them, but that was the latest one. I don't need to do it anymore because It just works all the time.
Matt's my boy.
But it's a
He's
stable.
good dude. He and I work together at Kootenai County.
Oh, you know, Matt?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good, man. He's like one of my
boy.
besties, man.
Dude, he's a good dude.
So Chris says we need to get him on the podcast because he's got some good stories.
Oh yeah, he was on the he was on like the warrior test because he was I think he was a Marine sniper if I remember right.
I think it was Dark Horse.
Yeah,
if I remember right.
Yeah. So chill, like different stage of life. Like you can tell, all of us go through different chapters because Matt's pretty mellow now. Like very. I don't think he was always that way.
Yeah,
but great dude.
Oh no, he's still got the crazy, man.
Oh yeah,
in a good way though.
Yeah.
So,
controlled.
So for the average shooter, right, home defense, you're not I mean, it's not normal to rip off magazine after magazine at full auto. Nobody actually does that, right?
I mean no,
for fun maybe.
Not
but
since maybe like the Korean War, but
right. Even war fighters now. I mean, I don't know. I'm not from that community, but
it's not the norm. But it's nice to know that your stuff will do it.
Right.
And then also FRTs are becoming more popular. Guys want to, bump fire in the trash or whatever they're doing. But I want something that's overbuilt. That's why I buy good rifles. That's why I buy good
100%. Because you're right. I want to buy it once and not worry about it ever again.
I'll never shoot like that. Like, how the hell do you know?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Yeah, so I mean, like for the average shooter, for me, home defense, I mean, this would be ideal. I'm not going to wreck this thing. I'm probably never going to put enough rounds through it where I need to even replace it.
It's going to last, and you're probably not going to break it.
Right.
If you're like me, I mean, I could break a ball bearing, dude. Like,
Pretty good at breaking shit, too.
Talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the pressure test. That's good. We have one of those. Big John's like that.
Yeah,
He'll break everything.
He
He pressure tests the podcast.
comes
studio
in the room
often.
and breaks shit.
Yeah. Question from a business owner, real quick. I didn't before I lose it. You know how my brain works.
Yeah, go.
You said you lamented a little bit that you got to do some of it in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
What does Idaho lack? Because I think you guys are going places. This is super cool. What does Idaho lack that you had to go to Oregon for production?
Nothing really. That's just where Ty lives, you know.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he has because Ty used to be in the industry.
Yeah.
And so does our engineer. They like their privacy, so I won't say their names. But
Yeah.
both geniuses in their own right. I'm the least of all our team members, by the way.
But I'm going to float your boat. I'm going to float your boat because I have never seen anyone handle a weapon like you handle a weapon. And I'm not talking, you're a good shooter too. I've seen you shoot. I'm not saying that. I mean, just your familiarity with the weapon system from the MG42 all the way through these AR platforms, the MP5. Like, you're freaking really good at handling a gun, dude. You've clearly spent a lot of time around them. So I think that's probably your strong suit, is that side of things, right?
I'd like to think I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
I've been around a lot of shooters, dude, and I'm like, holy shit, just watching you. I brought my son up. My son had his brand new AR, and you grabbed it, and you heard it was brand new, and you stripped that thing down, and I was like, Hudson, pay attention.
Yes.
Because I can do this, but I can't do it like that.
Right.
And yeah, dude, I was like, damn, dude. Wow.
It's like one of the guys that used to teach our range at PD. There's between shooting and gunfighting. And familiarization with your weapon and your ability to manipulate. Those are two totally different things.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
when you really need it, what do you act? You're gunfighting. Like you're in a fight for your life, and you got to be able to gunfight and understand your weapon.
Exactly. You got to be able to shoot straight.
Yep.
So you're effective in that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But shooting is not gunfighting.
No, changing mags, get like all of that has to be secondary.
Exactly. And not, it should just be burned into your DNA.
Yeah.
So you can worry about what you got to do.
And it's a perishable skill.
We just said yesterday we need to go shooting.
Because
I was used to shooting twice a month. Like
I was shooting more than that when I was a cop. Yeah. And it goes quick. But I mean, I like the idea. So I can shoot at my house, but I have neighbors fairly close, and I don't want to be a jerk. So putting a can on, it just makes sense. It's just like the nice thing to do, and it's better for you. You know what I mean?
Even with Ear Pro on, I mean,
yeah,
with 5.56 or
you're not getting as much of a concussion.
Yeah, your bones in your ears, and you're getting that. You're still getting concussed. Even, I mean, have you ever had a chance in a felony stop or a bad situation as a police officer to be like, "Hey, let me put my Ear Pro in real quick"?
Negative.
Like I bump in a department. It's like, I don't really see a need for suppressors. It's like you should go fire that thing in a single wide sometime and see how you feel about that.
The story I was telling you about before this podcast, I mean, that guy is out there with an unsuppressed M4 in his car shooting over his steering wheel. I mean, there's no way that
is 100% hearing damage.
Oh yeah, you're getting all that.
Yeah, because it's all, and that's where it happens. I mean, that's where that stuff happens, and that's truly suppressors for teams that are shooting thousands of rounds per month in training. Is that suppressor really for tactics? Or is it for the protection of the team members that are
Both
shooting at it?
immediate and long term.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's a cumulative thing.
Yeah.
And then never mind the immediate situational awareness aspect of it. Like, how many times you have your buddy shooting next to your head and it's like, ow, that kind of hurts, but hey, it's not so bad anymore. And then it's all over and it's like, all you see is lips moving. You're like, oh, that's probably gonna leave a mark.
That's why I can't hear the oven beep.
All the hairs and all the hairs in my ears are laid down forever.
Yeah.
So I mean, it does matter. And then hearing is a big part of your situational awareness. And bang, 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 and it's like, now you can't hear anything anymore.
Yeah.
And most of the time you're by yourself as a cop, right?
Yeah.
And when backup, is only 45 minutes away, and it's just you.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to go down. You don't know if he's got friends. You don't know what's up.
If you can't hear stick snap behind you, like that's a freaking issue. Absolutely.
There's also the equilibrium aspect of it, and just situational awareness as a whole. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, when you can't hear, it messes with you.
And it affects sleep. I mean, there's a whole bunch of secondaries off tinnitus. I mean, that'll jack you up.
Don't even say that word. Now I hear it again.
Sorry.
Yep, still there.
The reason I wanted to bring that up is Seth and I talk about it a lot. The number one employer right now in Kootenai County is Kootenai Health, right? It's the medical industry. And there's so many talents out here that are breaking through in the industry of either ammunition, firearms, suppressors, stuff like that. There's some brains. Like we had Cody Cohen and I were on the SWAT team with Genesis, right? Like that's a really cool company too with their semi-auto shotgun.
Oh yeah, that's a bitch.
No, it's badass. So there's these brains out here. It's like, how do we get... And we keep messing with Aero Precision because they're over there in Central Washington. It sucks. It's like we need manufacturers here because I'd love for kids to get like good manufacturing jobs out here and not have to leave because it's expensive to live here now, right? I don't want it to just be Kootenai Health. And there's enough space and there's enough brains. It's like, God, I'd love to keep a lot of that.
I think there'll be some good synergy between all of these businesses. We have I don't think I should say the name, but we have a company that's looking to move their whole company up here. They make force reset triggers, among other things. They're a big company. They want to bring the whole team up and start manufacturing up here.
Well, that's
awesome.
The fun part with the network, though, because guess what? We're going to be like, yo, what's up? Why don't you guys come have some coffee? Like,
let's put one of those in one of these with one of those and see what happens.
Oh, well, and the guy who shall remain nameless that has his magnet tech that can literally do a freaking rail gun.
Oh, yeah.
Like, pretty freaking sweet. We talked about that. It could get fun. It could get fun.
Are you guys okay? So these are
somebody will intro you too, dude.
These are 5.56. Are you guys working on other calibers?
I can't wait to carry it around in my pocket because everyone's asking about it. Like, do you also do it? And then just hand it to them.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we're working on that right now. It's going to be definitely short for caliber, and it's just got to be right. And we're all hands on deck getting these out the door and in production and everything else. So, but that is being worked on as well as the lockup, the QD, the actual. It's like a lever lock. It's really really cool. Oh yeah.
Good for you guys though. Don't pump it out just for need.
Nope.
Make it right.
Nope. It's either going to be right or not at all. Like I'd rather have like a handful of products that are world class than a bunch of just stuff.
Yeah. I shot. You had the prototype 22 can out there, right?
It's in the bag if you want to grab it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do.
You could probably shoot that into a phone book in here, and no one's going to hear it.
Is it attached to the pistole in there?
I think I pulled it off. It's in the outside pouch.
One of these.
Big outside pouch.
God dang it. I was just going to get one. I'm going to have to get two. Because my buddy had it was like a gray precision 22 and with a little can on it. Then he had subsonic 22 rounds. That thing was like spitwads.
Okay.
Dude.
That's how this one is. But you weren't even shooting subs in it, were you?
No.
No.
What you were shooting was mini mags.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, movie theater quiet and accurate.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the prototype, too.
So I have...
Oh, it's light. Jesus.
70-75 aluminum.
I have a shorter can for my 22 pistol, and it's you can kind of shoot without hearing pro, but it's still like not super comfortable. And then to go to this, which is only, I don't know, an inch longer, inch and a half maybe, huge freaking difference. That thing is fun.
God dang it.
Yeah, it works good with everything. You don't need to shoot CCI quiet for it to be quiet,
Yeah.
I was really, really thinking about, dude, you could cap a pedo in the milk aisle with that thing and no one would even know what it was.
Capapito. There you go. There's our freaking shirt slogan for the episode, dude.
In the milk aisle.
In the milk.
No less.
Yeah. And I'm really thinking about marketing it as the Pedo Popper 1000 or something, but I don't know if I could get in trouble for that.
Might get you in trouble. That might get you in
I think
trouble.
you'd have a market base for it, though, dude.
You definitely would, dude.
You're in the right place. All right, you're in the right geographic location for that to be effective. The Pedo Popper.
PP 1000.
This thing's so freaking
How
cool.
long do you think before you guys have those available?
They're almost ready right now, but those are the priority right now.
Yeah, of course.
And we're thinking about doing it on titanium too, because so the rimfire can's really dirty.
Yeah.
Like every time you fire, especially on jacketed rounds, it shaves off a little bit of like lead. It's not just fouling from the carbon, but so you got to be able to service them.
Okay.
Yeah, and they like chip that lead off over time, over thousands of rounds. I actually haven't cleaned out in like 3,000 rounds, but you got to be able to service them, I think. And so, sometimes that involves pounding out the baffles, with like a Delrin rod or a wood dowel or something like that. I don't know, just more durable.
Yeah.
And then because aluminum galls too, so it'd just be more durable and be less likely for a guy to like cross thread it or something like that.
And once again, obviously it would be more expensive. It's titanium, but I don't want to buy. I would rather buy it once than buy it 5 times.
Yeah.
It's worth the investment for me to do something like that.
Yeah, buy once, cry once. I mean,
Yeah.
technically, suppressors are like barrels, or they're a wear item. They're expendable, just consumable, if you will.
Yeah.
So everything has a life to it, but it's like how long? Like most guys are never going to wear either of these out,
Right.
And that's the whole point. But guys that are training all the time, I mean, you're burning barrels, you're burning up other parts.
Well, we burn up guns. I mean, we've burned up rifles more than once, and we've burned up cans. I mean, after a while, and those things sit in cars, and then they get banged, or you're out on a call, and they get dinged or bumped off, or I don't know. Do you have an estimate for how many rounds you could put through it? Have you guys even gotten that far?
No.
That's impressive, isn't it?
I haven't destroyed any of them through erosion yet. I mean, even when there's erosion, which is a naturally occurring process, they just work. They just seem to keep working and working and working, and it's a stable design. So your normal guy who trains, or your professional is training all the time, I think it's going to do really well for them. And I never clean them either. And I weigh them every once in a while, and they're not turned into a pound cake. Now, if you're slow firing with dirty ammo all the time, and it starts to accumulate, just go run some drills with it. It'd probably douche you right out.
Really?
It's just low maintenance. Like just use it. I intentionally go for long periods without cleaning the flash hiders and everything else too to see. So one feature that we kind of built into this. So it's a left-handed thread because we shoot right-hand twist barrels, right? And there's a torque involved with that, with harmonics and everything.
Always tightening itself.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to loosen itself, that's for sure. And so let's say you're that guy that doesn't like to take care of his stuff, which most of us are, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And you get this thing off, and it's like, oh, crap. Well, you twist and pull, and it shears the copper off, and so it doesn't get stuck. Mm-hmm. And then you can hopefully take care of your duty equipment like you should be, and then clean it up. So I've never gotten one of these stuck, and a lot of them have that issue. It's like a feature, not a bug. So
how are you supposed to clean a suppressor anyway? Are you supposed to bathe it in some shit?
Solvent, maybe?
Yeah, you put solvent in there. You can bake them in an oven, too, for, I forget, 400 degrees.
Throw them in there with the cookies and bake them up.
And then go shoot it. Yeah, that's one way. But there's a lot of other stuff going on. So that is ionized copper fouling. So every time you send a round, you get some aerosol copper, and it builds up. That right there gets stuff stuck too. But with our stuff, don't really have that problem. Most I've ever had to do in the worst case is throw a crescent on here and it pops right off. Okay. And I'm not even rock setting my flash hiders on it right now. And I haven't reverse torqued it off, and I torque them to 25 foot-pounds. So, I think it's doing all the things it should and not doing anything that it shouldn't.
I've experienced everything that you're talking about to where we had to, one was like welded on. Like we essentially had to destroy it in order to get it off. Like it got so seated on there was just no getting it off there. And the guy got bitched at for it because he maybe hadn't taken it off before. But we cleaned it at least after every other training session. So I've definitely seen that before.
You've seen how we probably treat our stuff, which is not gently, and yeah, it hasn't been a problem. And we're starting to get field reports trickle back in from professional and private sources that are like, dude, yeah, no problems, man. That's great. You know, fits in the squad car. It's so nice. You know, I mean, depending on what rack you have, it's like, you know, start your own gun on the way out, right? Like this is just it's easy peasy. Yeah.
And you make me want to text the guy right now, like the firearms guy at PD. Like, hey, just come run one of these. Just come run one during your training, because he beats on them pretty good. You know, just come run it. Just see what you think.
Guys are a little skeptical, and naturally so, because it's literally 3 inches, and it's like we're making all these claims, but all that stuff's backed up by data and testing.
Oh, yeah, go try it.
Just go shoot it.
Yeah, just go do that.
Yeah.
I can personally attest. It was a pleasure to shoot all of those.
Why didn't you schedule him like a month and a half ago? You see how much? Yeah, I just freaking bought a can, and then I've got 2 of the. It's gonna cost me.
Now
more
you
money.
need more.
I know. Yeah, I do.
Well, I just found out about this. Our buddy Neil Dyer hooked it up.
I know.
Neil's awesome.
He is awesome. So, okay. Do these run better on a particular barrel length or anything?
They're good from 10.3 all the way on up to however long you want to go.
Okay.
I don't condone 7.5s and any of that stuff, because those are silly. You're just, it's all your velocity's turning into flash and report.
And there's like not much to hold on to there. There's not a lot of real estate on that.
I got no use for it. We don't test or warrant. Oh, now we have shot. Now Neil has an LWRC 7.5, and it works fine on there. But I'm not going to market it that way, just because. I mean, there's so much unburnt powder coming out of even just these, right? And it can heat up quicker. That's inherent to SPRs. 7.5s are just silly town. Like, you may as well just carry an MP5 then, or a PCC of some kind.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your preferred barrel length?
I'm an 11.5 guy. I love 11.5. It does all the things. It's a 400 meter gun, at least. Like E-types all day, ding, 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 no problem. And it's good close quarters, and it just does all the things really well.
And with this can on it, I mean, now you're at like 13 inches or something. I'm no mathematician here. Was it at 3?
Yeah, it looks like probably an extra 4. So what? 15?
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
It's shorter than a CQBR, like a 10.3 with most anything else on it.
Yeah.
And you're still ballistically superior.
Like I said, man, I just think about what the other ones, when we're going and clearing it, that matters. You know, that extra 3 or 4 inches there at the end matters.
Oh, yeah.
When you're rolling in and out. I mean, simple fact of the matter, for practical, like urban combat, most of that stuff is close. Like, you're not out there plugging something at 400 usually.
Right.
You know, it's nice to have it if you need it. If it's like the hostage shot we all train for, but 99 times out of 100, dude, it's this close.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that's it matters.
What's the average engagement distance for LE? It's like 8 meters up to 50.
Oh, dude, it's personal distance.
7 yards or something.
Yeah,
It's like,
dude, yeah, it's really, really close.
or
I mean,
less.
It's personal
7 feet?
distance.
Is it 7 feet? I don't know. It's close. Like,
Yeah.
you're standing in the V of the door and you're shooting into a car that's occupied like that close.
Or it's somebody producing a firearm when you're having a conversation like this. It's why even in the police academy, it's like, well, you need to stay out of the It's not realistic. It's like you don't have conversations like, citizen, spitting on the sidewalk. And you're like, that's not how you have interactions with people. It's close. So you got to be ready. That's why we ran this platform. I love this weapons platform, but that's why pistol becomes so important. And that is one thing with law enforcement. We're going to a lot of cans on rifles, but most of our engagements are still with the pistol, because it's in that, you know, it's a DV call. You're inside of a house. It'd be nice to get it to where it was standard that those were suppressed as well.
Austin says 3 to 7 yards is the average law enforcement engagement distance. That makes
100%.
sense. That totally makes sense.
Yep. It'd be cool to train
And
that.
it's convenient, convenient size too. I mean, I like to run a magnifier for stuff that's, you know, this is primarily a defense weapon, right? So,
Right.
But the 3x helps, you know, get a distance. But I like to be able to take that off. I don't run LPVOs, you know, unless the environment, the average distance is longer. But so I just like to have. I mean, dude, that's a clean setup. I got my little Surefire light, I got my red dot, I got my can, and it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. I don't have all this extra crap. And then, you know, I could throw my laser on when I need it.
That is
Co-witness real quick. And
that is my preferred setup right there. Like, nothing fancy.
Well, it's a grab and go, dude. And
I am a fundamentals based guy, whether it's jiu-jitsu or whatever, cooking or shooting.
yeah,
That's all, that wins fights.
quit giving me more crap to do.
Yeah,
like simple.
Exactly.
yeah.
I think a lot of people fall into that trap, especially from the civilian world. Here they want to trick everything out, or they try to overcompensate with equipment for lack of skills and fundamentals. Yeah, it just doesn't work out.
Well, it's funny when they're, I want to look like a team guy, and then you see like a team weapon, and you're like, oh, that's really
looks like that.
Seems pretty.
He got tired of carrying around all that crap too.
Yeah, I'll be damned. Oh, so it's very basic.
Yeah. I go to war in jeans and a t-shirt and a pocket full of mags, dude. Like, I mean, carrying around all this extra crap, it sucks. I mean, my knees, my back.
Well, and
it's the mobility versus armor argument, right? I went through a phase on the I was on a high risk Foreign Service team, and I was like getting concerned about, because they didn't give us any gear. Like, I had to get my own plate carrier. So then I bought these ballistic shoulder pads, and I served like one warrant with that, and it got caught on everything. And I was like, this is stupid. So I got rid of those immediately and just went right back to regular.
It's going to help that SKS round go sideways.
Like, what is this going to do?
Like,
nothing. So that didn't last long. But
pay attention to the guys that have been there before. Yes. What I noticed is one of the best operators that I've ever been around was Army guy, and then he did some contract work overseas and got into a shootout on the interstate, and it was like long round. The guy was armed. It was kind of crazy, but he's been there. I mean, he's been in those types of firefights before. But he goes sprinting up, and he realized that he didn't have another mag. So he changed his whole setup. So he actually went with the stacked megs. Mm-hmm. That way, every time you get out of the car, because under stress, there's guys under fire, all of that stuff. So then you see the guys with these, because I had a extended mag well on mine, because it gave me an extra couple of rounds on my pistol, and then I put another pistol or another mag on my hips or on my waist, just because I wanted to have it on me all the time. Because if it's something that you have to think about before you leave, if it's something, you're not going to have it. That's the way I looked at it.
Simplify your life.
Yes.
Build in that room for error.
Yep. Have it all there. And people are talking about where you stack the megs. And it's like, oh, it's extra weight. I get it, bro, but I'd rather have it.
I'm not going to care in the moment.
No.
I've had those. It was like Magpul makes that little stacking thing.
As long as you train with it, is it perfect if I'm just trying to same hole at the range? No. But, man, I'd rather have it.
I got 60 rounds.
I'd rather know I've got it.
Dude. All day, man. I always, for my EDC, I always stuff an extra mag in my pocket, clean the lint out of it, once a week or whatever. But, I'd rather have it than not need it. It's that one time, like, damn it, Chris.
It's born through circumstances, right? And you see it and you're like, hey, why do you have that? Well, when I was in this, checks out. All right, copy that. Yeah, I got it. Because you're not going to remember. Even we had an external plate carrier that was, built for rifle rounds, but it's in the passenger seat. I was like, when a cop needs that, they're not going to have it. It's great to have. Maybe you throw it on for like a, critical, mass shooting or something like that. But I don't know. If you don't have it on your person, I just assume you're not going to have it when you really, really want it.
Right. Because most of the time you'll already be out of the car and something is happening.
Yes.
And you have time to go back and get it. Are you even going to think about it?
That's why I always had
You're reacting all the time as a peace officer, right? I mean,
yeah.
Sometimes you can be proactive. It's like, popping off for felony stop or whatever. Yeah. But most of the time you're caught off guard, just like anything else, right?
Yeah. One of the craziest calls I ever had was a located runaway juvenile, like a priority 4, like nothing that you would expect. Right. You don't expect that. And that was one of those, backups 25 minutes away. So what I've learned through my career is I had a tourniquet and a small IFAC on my waist. Yeah. I had it on my belt. Was it uncomfortable sometimes? Yeah. But when am I really going to need that? I'm going to need it when I end up out on Tubbs Hill.
When you need it now?
Yes, exactly. So, and I actually kept my I kept my chest seal in my vest. Right, like I kept it in my pocket, so if I ever took a round and it missed me, I've got it right.
That's
there.
That's weak, dude. I would actually stick them to my chest prior to the shift.
Is that why you have my chest there?
Yeah, I'd wear 2 in the front, 2 in the back.
Do you still do that now? Is it just like you tear them away every night?
Right here,
look like 40-year-old virgin.
We got that space age quick clot now. That's like,
oh yeah, those are wild.
Yeah, stick a couple of those in your kit.
Yeah, it's cool. If somebody wanted to buy one of these now, obviously you guys have a website. Mm-hmm. Are they being carried locally at any spots?
No, we're trying to work into that right now. Because guys, we've sold most of our stuff right now through networks and agency and stuff like that, because we've got a pretty wide network. But no one on the civilian side has really heard of us yet. And I know there's a lot of new companies coming out. I mean, even Ruger's like making cans now, I think. I mean, it's noisy right now. And so naturally, like, well, who are you guys? And it's like, and then I show them and they're like, there's no way. And it's like, yes, way.
There's a way.
Let's go shoot it right now.
Well, you're about to get some calls from some of our listeners. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
And I think we should connect you with BZ over at North Idaho Arms. I'm sure he would jump on that. He sells a lot of cans too. And then we know him well, so I can attest. And then we'll just have them come out too. Actually, that's what we do. We have them come out when we
go shooting.
When we go shooting.
Yeah.
And then he can personally attest to how well they work.
Well, we are long overdue for that. Going out shooting with those guys.
I'm going to write a note
up at the ISP
right
range.
Now. We're going to make it happen.
That would be a good connection for. I mean, look, man, I love that team. I was on that team for a long time. I want them to have the best shit, right? I want them to be the best equipped to handle what they're generally going to do, which is urban combat, right? Want them to have the best stuff. And it started off with us we had a really junk suppressor because everybody's like, oh, sweet, suppressors. And it was garbage, right? And now it's gradually gone to, we have much better platforms. We're blessed because our citizens here appreciate their law enforcement. So we're well-funded. Our range team is really well-funded. But proof's in the pudding. When we've had shootings, it's gone very favorably. And that's a testament to the training and then the investment that our communities put into it. So I'm all about them having the best equipment.
Mm-hmm. That's the right mindset, man. Because I run into a lot of departments that don't care about that. Like, you're running what? What kind of garbage rod are you guys buying for your guys, man? And
dude.
And they're not maintained very well. Look at that. Let me just screw your castle nut off by hand real quick for you.
Oh yeah.
Or you get these.
That's I've seen it.
Or you get these big departments that it's like my old department. It was impossible to change anything. It was like they would say like what they say 99 years of tradition unencumbered by progress or something. I don't know. It's like some like this so dumb. When I came on, we couldn't even have lights on our pistols. That was in 2008. And that transition happened after because they finally started to realize how dumb it was. Our long guns could not have lights on them because it was too tactical. Wow. Can you imagine trying to do a felony stop with a long gun and hold a big ass flashlight?
Photonic barrier.
The first time I
see past the lights.
The first time I did it, I'm like, what do you do here? There's no good way to do that.
None.
It was so dumb. Even on our warrant service team, it wasn't technically allowed by policy, but we did put lights and some optics on the guns. But yeah, they just this year switched to a pistol. They went to the M&P 2.0.
That's a good pistol.
I actually really love that. We had the original M&P for the last, I don't know, 8 years, but they couldn't go to the 2.0. They said it wasn't proven long enough, whatever. But they're finally putting optics on these pistols. So it's like, okay, they've been around forever. Here we go. We're adopting.
Man, I'm
10 years behind.
There's no reason not to put an
stupid.
RDS on a pistol, man. It just makes it so much better. It's like saying, irons only. Like, yeah, you should know how to use irons, but dude, you can't make up for the speed of a dot. I don't have to worry about sight alignment. I just
not even close.
Where the dot goes, that thing goes away.
Yeah. But what you're fighting is the old sentiment of it's the way we've always done it, right? Oh, I've always shot it. You need to know how to shoot. And I was probably one of those where it's like I was pretty clean at shooting irons with a pistol, like very comfortable with it. So when we went to red dot, it's like, look, man, I crush my course every time. I can shoot well. I'm effective. And it took me roughly half a day out training with it to where I watched my group go whoop, and it was fast. I was like,
oh yeah,
I'll be damned. All right,
there's a big difference.
All the old timers, I don't carry 45 because they don't make a 46. Border. Come on, man.
You'd be amazed at how recently Cooney County's transitioned from 45 to 9mm. Fairly recent.
I'm pretty sure my old department's still shooting 40. It's like, just go to 9.
Yeah. I don't mean to sound like a G9 fanboy, but their 45 ACP changes the nature of 45 ACP, by the way. That stuff's nutso.
Really?
Yeah, it's faster, lighter. It's not this big Herkin 230 grain brick you're chucking down range. Like, I think it's 1,400 feet a second, 1,480. Don't quote me on the numbers.
Fast. Oh, that's freaking sweet.
Yeah, it's a light, fast 45. And so whatever the 9mm does, I'm sure that round does more.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, we got some cool companies here, dude.
I know.
We got some cool companies in North Idaho. I think it was Blaine. He said, hey, God's building an army in North Idaho. I don't know what for, but building one.
And a way to arm them.
Yes, we seem to have the armament. Like I said, we just need a good, solid weapons manufacturer to come out here that does not want to be encumbered with state political bullshit and taxes.
Yeah.
That seems favorable to me. Some of those companies out there that should come up here and hire some good local North Idaho boys and
Right?
Start making weapons out
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Some of those northeastern companies need to get out of that hellhole and come to North Idaho, man. Let's go, Colt.
Yes.
Come on, buddy.
Yes.
Idaho wants you. Let's go.
Yes, and we would embrace you. How awesome would that be?
Amazing.
Like I said, if I was king of the dipshits, man, if I was running the state for a while, I'd say, look, I'm going to cut you a break on taxes for like 3 or 4 years. We understand the expense, the capital expense of moving your whole facility over here. That shit costs money. So let me give you a break on the tax front because you're going to bring jobs. It's going to be better. Yeah. Do you hear me, Brad Little? I know you just got the freaking Republican ticket again, so... Dude, let's incentivize some good companies to come out here. That would be badass.
Not data centers, Brad.
Remember, they're water cooled.
Weapons manufacturers.
They're water cooled, so I mean, just something to be aware of.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's badass.
Exactly. You guys are on social media as well. You're on the gram. I know begrudgingly, but that's okay. I know
social media
doesn't come natural to guys like us, so I get it.
Yeah, we do the gram thing right now. And, just throwing videos up, letting people kind of see what we're about a little bit. And, suppressors isn't the only thing we do, but it's our main shtick right now.
Okay.
We got some other stuff in the works, too, but It's kind of like OPSEC with that. It's really neat, though. I can't wait to show people.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it's cool.
Sweet. Yeah. And judging by these, I imagine they're going to be overbuilt and just solid.
Yeah. These cans are duty ready, man. Like I would take one of those to war yesterday, and as a matter of personal pride, I couldn't sit up here in front of you and say anything to the contrary of what I actually believe or what these do. So, we stand behind our product. I stand behind that design. We've got a lot of good minds that have brought this to the table. We got a really good team. We're a small company, but we got a really, really good team. So
we understand that.
Yep.
Yeah,
maintain the culture, man. Like,
dude, Ty is a genius in his own right. Our engineer, Brian. I'm not gonna say the last names, but dude, these guys are literal like savants at what they do. Our production guys, Cody, and all the guys in the shop, man, they're just, master fabricators, master welders, master machinists, just incredible dudes. Neil, he's a part of our team. He's been a boon, man. Just having him around and he's awesome. And then, I won't say his last name either because he'll get on a plane. He likes wheel guns. I know he'd shoot me through his pocket. He would. Yeah. He's a retired SF guy. Randy's awesome, man. And again, like I'm like the least of all of my team members. Like I've been drinking through a fire hose on business. I've never been like a business guy. Like, Jim, Bob with ties and stuff. Like, so I'm like learning about. It's like a whole other battlefield, right? A whole other battle space that I'm kind of getting the ropes on, and I have to do everything except for accounting, unless you guys want to go to jail. Don't make me do the accounting.
Yeah, but that's why you're a really good fit for North Idaho, though. North Idaho is still kind of a throwback community in which business is still done face-to-face and networking. Right? Like, these guys are principled. These are their values. These are legit dudes. They've battle tested all of their stuff. They put them through like that's what still matters here. It's not like hey, what's my kickback? Hey, I'll get you in my network, but what's my kick? That's not how people operate.
Yeah, I've noticed people aren't super money driven like around here. Like that's kind of our MO too. Like, we got to make money, but we're not like that, dude. And I've noticed the same thing in general around here. It's really refreshing. Because I go to other areas and it's like, oh man, well, you guys are off the chain over here, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the fun part when we refer somebody out, and we use this line all the time. It's like we get no kickbacks from them. We just refer them out because it's genuine. They do a really good job, right? Or it's a really good product, or it's a really good service. It feels disingenuous if you find out after the fact that they're giving me a 5% kickback or I get that I get a little money on the front end, but my credibility's not worth that. Right, like the rapport and trust that I've built with you isn't worth that. I don't want to make it seem like, I'm pushing this on you because I can make a little bit of that.
Here, bro. Here, just take one.
Exactly. No, thank you. If you believe in the product, you believe in the service, it's really easy to refer it because that's ultimately a reflection of you. That's why I still like Idaho. It's still growing area with a small town mentality. Man, you can't outrun a bad reputation.
Right.
I love that about
100%.
here.
Yeah.
Keeps you grounded.
And these are life-saving tools as far as I see it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't push this out into the space that we work in unless it did what I know it does. And whether you're LE, whether you're military, whether you're private citizen defending their family, like that's important. I love my family. I want to make sure that if the worst does happen, that I can take care of it and I don't have a problem.
Yep.
Because I got other problems. If you're using these for their intended purpose,
Yeah.
you've got other things to worry about. You don't need to worry about your kit or something breaking when it should be broken.
Absolutely. How are you guys scale wise? Are you like prepared to scale up and
Yep.
you're in a good spot? Cool.
You know, like our website isn't like the most polished or anything like that. And, you know, our social media presence isn't huge because all of our resources have gone into materials and production, which, you know, that stuff's not, dude, 17.4 and ink, you know, it's expensive material. And then having everything in place so that production can scale very, very quickly. We have our assembly line, QC process, everything set up. And right now we're just kind of flowing along, but we can scale up really fast if the demand goes up, so we can keep up.
How many are you making a month right now, currently, roughly? You got any?
Right now, it's hard to say. I'd say around 100.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can pump that up like 4 orders of magnitude.
Cool.
Yeah, because I'd be prudent to not
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's
fall
coming.
short.
I feel like it's coming.
Well, yeah.
You start picking up some contracts and
Well, thanks for costing me money. I want 2 of these and 1 of these to start.
No problem.
For sure.
We keep them affordable too, so it's not like you got to spend $600 to buy 3 of them to put on 3 guns. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, big shout out to the CDA. They let me buy back my SBR, my team SBR.
that's pretty cool.
What were you guys running?
That one was a Seekins, and I had some issues with it early. It took a while. It's funny. You start injecting all that pressure into that system, and those things are really precise. As our range guy said, they're like a Lamborghini, right? They want to run a certain way, and when they're running well, they're running really, really well. It almost had to break in, but man, by the end, that thing was running really well for me. The way I had it set up, it was great. But I had issues with jamming and all sorts of stuff early. But after
That's
a while,
an uncomfortable feeling for a duty
dude,
gun.
they're running BCMs now.
BCM, I love them, man.
Yeah,
They're
don't
great.
give me the Lamborghini. Give me the Honda Civic or the Honda Accord.
Once
Like,
it-
I'll rock that
Toyota
shit all day.
Tacoma, bro.
Yeah, but honestly, I was just great. I love it because I put so many rounds through it, and that thing carried me through patrol for all of those. So it was really cool
It's
to
a
get
nice
it back.
rifle.
But I'm probably going to throw this on that and go out and plink. But I've got like 5 M4s. It's ridiculous. I probably have too many.
You need to get that gun trust going. I'm doing mine in June
know.
with Ben Allen.
That's
so.
the way to go, man. And then you can hot swap people on the trust too, like family
Yep.
members, and then
Yep.
they can take your stuff out without going to jail, right?
That's a big one. Oh, on that note, I wanted to ask you, because these are full auto.
Yeah.
How do you do that in Idaho? How do you get a license to have full auto stuff?
Dang it. Now I have to run from the cops. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoops.
The AFT.
Yeah.
No, we're FFL SOTs.
Cool.
SOT.
Okay.
2, so we can, I mean, dude, I'd turn a toaster into a machine gun if I could. Like, because I can. And I, you know, people are like, well, you're a sniper. Why do you like machine guns so much? It's like, I think you might be a little gay for saying that.
Why would you not?
Why would you not like machine guns? Like,
The only downside is they're so fun. They're so expensive to shoot because they're too damn fun.
It does
that's the
cost
only
a lot
downside.
of money. This is an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
All right. They can absolutely protect you, but it can get real expensive real quick.
technically, it's a tax write-off for me for ammo, but I mean, it doesn't help anything right now.
So that's
There you
pretty
go.
sweet. Yeah.
No, like we do all of our own conversions and everything. Like Colt just sent me that as an SBR, but like, I mean, select fire is like a big mystery to a lot of people. So let's talk about it. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So.
Hoping he forgets one of those cans here.
Yeah. Maybe
We'll fight
I
over
could
it.
just roll one off the.
Yeah. Just roll it over, stuff it down your pants. Nobody knows the difference.
Hey, easy. You're probably right.
There's the naughty geometry right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the big what for right there.
Okay, I can see the difference there and what normally would be there.
So when these come from Colt, they like to leave more material right here, so we machine them out, and then we add the naughty axis right there.
That easy, huh?
0.125 and 0.123, and send it, man. And then you got to time these, of course. There's timing involved in machine guns. Mm-hmm. And make sure they're timed correctly so that there's no, early strikes, click, no bang. And yeah, I mean, it's really not rocket surgery. So a lot of bolt carriers used to come machine back, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Or even all the way off during like the Clinton band era.
Yeah.
So that's a full auto carrier right there. They all come with that now. It's better for mass too, for feeding and more reliability. So that little piece right there hits this little guy right here. Bang, right? So I can just hold the trigger down and
It'll just go.
yeah. So when I'm on semi, reset, right?
Right.
Off the disconnector. And go full auto. Now this is in play. And when I pull the trigger, the tail on the disconnector is held down by the selector now. So it's out of play when I pull the trigger. And that control's handed off to the sear, and the sear is timed by the bolt carrier. So it's in battery, and now it goes bang. It lets the hammer go. Huh. Yeah, that's how machine guns work. You know, closed bolt machine guns typically work is with an auto sear. Like MG42s and stuff, those are open bolt guns. Those are a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like you just take the sear out and just run away and keep firing until it's out of ammo. Because it's the best way to just explain it in brevity is like it's a slam fire, right? Mm-hmm. Like with MG42, the rollers come out, fire pin, boom, and it'll do that in perpetuity. Like you ever hear somebody like ride the lightning when it comes to belt feds? Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes sears break or wear down, and then just point it or break the belt, man. Just keep it pointed in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know, those are open bolt guns. You know.
Yep.
Closed bolt. You know, this is a closed bolt. MP5's a closed bolt. Sten and stuff that everyone knows about. Like, you know, those are open bolts. You know, but yeah. So no big mystery sauce with the full auto sears. The force reset operates on a different principle, so technically it's more than one pull to the trigger with each. It's
right.
One shot per pull, right? Because it's forcing your finger forward.
That's how they get away with it not being. It's not technically full auto.
Right. For the AFT, it's one shot per trigger pull, and I played around with that concept years ago in a different way with the FRT, and it worked. But they've refined the idea really well. I was actually really surprised when I got to play with one. Like, because normally if you pull the trigger too hard, you can actually stop the carrier with some of those. And but this, it's like you could pull it as hard as you want, and it's still force resets. And then once the weapon is locked back in the battery and the trigger's reset, now you're on the second pull, and you've never changed applying force to the rear. So it does act like full auto. Mm-hmm. A lot of guys are just having some trouble with reliability because they don't understand things like bolt bounce, bolt carrier bounce. Buffers are more than just mitigating gas and all that type of thing. Like it's a mass equation. Your barrel mass versus buffer mass. That's why, like in the M4A1, it has a SOCOM barrel, thicker, more mass. Mm-hmm. They went up to the H2 buffer because you get click, no bang because of light strikes, because of that bounce. Right. Your carrier's actually bouncing on a battery. And most of these guns that you'll find off the shelf have like carbine weight buffers to them, and they're all too light. Like if you got a really good trigger on there and your control pairs are really fast, you can get a click, no bang. And guys are running into that same problem with these FRTs because they just don't know about that. So.
Right. I have watched the coolest failure at the range that took one of our M4s and it went full auto. Like there was just enough. I'm not going to tell the manufacturer, but he goes out and he's qualifying. It's like, can I see that?
It's fun.
Let me see.
Let me try it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's a failure. No, it's fine. I'm good. I'll take it.
Task failed successfully.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Good
well,
stuff,
like
dude.
Man, I am excited about the companies that are out here and building cool shit.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks for bringing all these toys out, man. I will link. I'll link your website and your Instagram in the show notes so people can find you. And I mean it. Let's in the next few weeks or a month, we'll put something on the calendar. And Neil will be back in town. That'd be fun to have him come down too.
He's out training demo right now, man.
Yeah, he sent me a picture the other day of a bunch of some explosive shit I'd never messed with, and I was like, "Oh, that looks fun, dude. Whatever you're doing, that's cool." So yeah, we'll have him come down. Maybe we'll have BZ come out just so he can see what you guys are doing, because I'm sure he'd love to put these in his shop, and then get you tied in with the PD as well. We'll see. Make some beautiful synergism.
There it is. You got it out there.
That's my new word.
What's the spelling on that?
I'm not going to go over that on the air. It's X-rated.
No, cool. Local company, man, doing some big stuff.
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
Yep.
Thanks for coming out. That was cool. I look forward to doing more stuff with you guys in the future and having you come back.
I appreciate it, man. Try not to nerd out on you guys too hard.
No, we like
Dude,
it.
It was great.
People like that. You clearly know your way around a gun, dude. I have zero doubt.
That's Idaho, man. The credibility is established. It's one thing to sit out there and be like, well, we made this really cool thing and these engineers were awesome. But if you go out and you pound on it and you clearly know how to run a weapon, that's different. That hits different.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, there's a lot of new guys to the cans too, you know, so we're trying to help educate them a little bit too, because they're like, it's like, oh, you know, they don't, there's a lot of expectations that most guys have only seen suppressors on movies, you know.
Yeah, I was one of those until somewhat recently, so.
But right now, when you don't have to wait 9 or 10 months like you used to, and that might go away, a lot of people are like panic buying cans. And you're right, there are a lot of new well, I mean, truly, but you're trying to capitalize on the window to do it. And if it's from a company that doesn't necessarily build cans and they're just trying to get a product out.
I'm trying not to take it personal. Yeah. I know it's capitalism, but that's not us, man. We didn't start this, you know, in November trying to get a product out the door. We've been R&D in that, or T&E in it for like 2.5 years.
That's wild.
So,
well, you get big enough, and just for fun, I would love to see what you would do with the can on a Gen 12.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Can you imagine? I know the market isn't very big, but in my mind, how
Eric
cool
selfishly wants one because he has a Gen 12.
Yes, I do.
I don't,
Yes, I
you're
do.
not wrong, dude.
Yes.
Like,
I like his style, man.
Yeah.
I like Genesis style, man.
Oh, man.
And his videos are pretty cool. And yeah, I've never shot a full auto shotgun, so that's on my list.
Maybe we can get Cody to come out too.
Imagine. See, there's your bear herd gun. A whole herd of bears. That's Jurassic Park, dude. That's wiping out those things. Freaking awesome.
We're gonna get a bunch of people together for this shoot.
That'll be fun. Get some drone footage and just go rip.
Yeah, buddy.
We go out there in the bowl. The bowl's cool because you can shoot about 270 degrees. So you can set up stuff all around there, which is really good practice.
What's the distance on the range?
They have a long range. God, I don't remember. They have a section of it that's long range, but it kind of shuts off the bowl if you do it. So you can go long range. And then the bowl is probably, I don't know, 50 maybe if you go all the way around. But it's nice. It's really good. We used to drag cars in there. Shout out to Schaefer's Towing. They used to give us some of their wrecked cars so we could actually use them and practice and pin and, you know, bring the Bearcat in and pin a car and then practice.
That's awesome.
It was
invaluable.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's some, wear shoes. There's glass out there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Punched holes in cars out there.
Hazmat.
But it is a cool range. Pretty close to where you guys are. It's a good relationship you guys should have anyways.
Well, let's get a car out there and light it up with some bell feds too at the end.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. We could make that happen.
Well, the last multi-agency demo, I brought the 42 out.
Yeah.
And we were shooting this beamer up, pillars and everything else, and did a G9 demonstration too.
Yeah.
But at the end, so we got to do a multi, like what you're talking about with, you know, plates at different ranges and then transitions and pistol, carbine, side prone, through windows, through glass. In the winter, the incentive was to get to run a belt through the gun. So we got to light that beamer up with a 42, which is pretty ironic, but also fun.
I see what you did. Nice.
That was great. Great times. Shooting cars is great.
I would love to get a video of that.
Well, it's just so much. Cars are so important, just because we talk about hostage, like a rolling domestic hostage situation. It's hard to introduce gas into a freaking car. Dude. It's hard.
Oh, right.
Well, because even your less lethal rounds generally won't penetrate. Like so you have to practice it.
I tried that one time with a 12 gauge beanbag rounds, dude. I could not break the back window.
Oh God, it
drove me nuts.
I sent one into a park. I used like a 40 and it goes ding and just shot up over the berm. I was like, hope kids aren't playing baseball over there. Yeah.
Oh God.
My bad. So yeah, no, it's good practical application.
Good stuff. Well, thanks again, brother. That was a blast. I think people will dig this one because that's a lot of good info. People love it.
Yeah.
It's Idaho. We love guns.
Jager Defense, made in Sandpoint, man.
Yeah.
Couldn't be cooler.
Cool. Thank you, Chris.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's a lot more fun than I anticipated.
See?
Being out in front of
it's just a conversation.
Always is.
Cameras.
Dude, you just get rolled. It's the exact same thing as we were doing before you were recording. Just BSing.
Yep.
Face for radio.
Yeah.
You and us both.
Same.
All right.
Absolutely.
Catch
Cheers,
you
guys.
later.